If you have your Bible, we're in the Psalms this morning, Psalm 100. A couple of weeks ago, we acted like and thought like and tried to pretend we were in a parade. And we lined up according to needs and experiences in our lives. And those who had experienced one thing went first, and they all went into the temple and gave offerings and praised God. And the next group based on their experiences and on and on. And 4 different groups. And we tried to think about that and imagine if we had been in that group, which of those 4 groups might we have been in? Well, that was 2 weeks ago. Today we're going to do something very similar, back into another parade. We need to understand that in old days, in Old Testament times, and even in Jesus' day, the festivities around the temple were amazing. And they would do these processionals, and the music was unbelievable, and the things they did were just so uplifting, and the people would line up and come in and give offerings of different kinds. And they had festivals for all kinds of things. Now, sometimes that became a problem because people worshiped the festivals more than they did God. But that wasn't the case with this. This was a festival of praise and celebration. And so that's what we're going to imagine today. Just go back those hundreds and thousands, actually, of years to the time that this beautiful psalm, Psalm 100, was written. You know, I realize that the day after Thanksgiving is officially the beginning of the Christmas season. I get that. You know, Black Friday and all of that kind of stuff, and I totally understand that, and yes, I've even been already I've been forced to watch a Hallmark Christmas movie, and if any of your wives insist you watch a Hallmark Christmas movie with you, tell them you've already seen it, and that wouldn't be a lie because they're all the same. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. And so I've already been forced to watch one. We watched it last night, and everybody lived happily ever after, as they always do. And so I realize it's Christmas, but not yet. We're not really going to kick off Christmas around here until next Sunday. I'm still kind of in the Thanksgiving mode, and that's what I want us to think about this morning is this great, great psalm of thanksgiving. Now, here we are in the parade. We've lined up. We're approaching the gates of the temple. We're outside, but we're approaching the gates of the temple. The priests come out and stand at the gate, and it would begin with this statement, this general statement there in Psalm 100 of the priests inviting the people into their parade. And in Verse 1, it says, "Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth." Can you just see that priest come out in his royal garb that he wore and all the fancy stuff, that all of it had very symbolic meanings? And he comes out and raises his hand, and all the people stop talking, and the thousands of them, and he's standing there at the top of the steps, and he says in his loud, booming voice, "Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth." And then he continues with verse 2, and he says, "Serve the Lord with gladness. Come into his presence with singing." And that was an invitation for the people to come in. It was a great statement, said by the priest. There was singing by the choir. But y'all, every one of these verses we're going to see are loaded in theology. He starts out saying we have a universal God. He uses the word Yahweh, which was their holiest of holy. In fact, they wouldn't even say it. They had consonants. They wouldn't even put the vowels in there because it was so sacred. They wouldn't say that the real word. So Yahweh was a filler for the real word. And they said, you know, that we are to make a joyful noise to the God of gods. All the earth. They say he's a universal God. They say serve the Lord. And then they give these great attitudes. Joyful noise, gladness, and singing. And I think it was at that point that the choir cut loose, Robbie. I don't know what they sang, but don't you know it was heavenly? When he said, come into his presence with singing. And that choir cut loose singing out of joy and gladness because we've got such a good God. That's what Thanksgiving's all about, is giving thanks. And we as Christians really understand it better than others because we're not only giving thanks for all those trivial cliche things, and they're not trivial, but it is cliche. Thankful for my family, thankful for my job, thankful for a free country, and we just say those and bam, 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 and they're done. But we as Christians understand that more than anything else, we can come into the presence of Yahweh God with singing because he's a good God. Hannah Hampton grew up here in our church and is one of ours, I believe, and has gone out, and we're so proud of her. Hannah's come back to sing for us today, and she's going to set the stage for this grand parade into the temple when we celebrate the goodness of God.
I hope I live up to that introduction, so we're going to try.
Oh, your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire. In darkest nights, you are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. And I have lived in the goodness of God. Hey, 'cause all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Your goodness is
shoot. I can't see my notes. Oh, me, that's one of those that you just ought to give an invitation and go home. We're not going to, but. God just knew we all needed to sing that. Whew.